strong likes and dislikes, and you clean your garbage in the mind, and you do meditation, you eat good healthy food. So good stuff from your mind, good stuff from your mouth to the body, and you give beds in hospitals. What happens in bed? We rest. Doctor. So in healing, what I have noticed in all my experience as a doctor is that the first and foremost thing, healing comes when the patient has belief that he will get healed, he will get cured, a positive belief in his own self, and then a positive belief in the healer, the doctor, faith in the doctor. When there is a faith in the doctor and the faith in your own individual self, then the healing starts. And even at that level, the other important aspect is to accept the disease first. A lot of people are in denial. Like when I started taking Parkinson retreat programs a few years back, I realized that so many people don't accept the diagnosis. They are ashamed of the diagnosis. They don't tell their relatives. They don't even tell themselves. They try to just escape. And so once you don't accept the diagnosis, how would you heal? How would you get rid of it? And so the healing comes when you accept. So acceptance is a very powerful thing. You accept a diagnosis, and then the healing starts. Then you have a positive intentions, positive belief system. Then you look after your lifestyle, Most of the diseases nowadays are all lifestyle created, We watch movies at night, we sleep late, we have drugs, we have alcohol, and we have tobacco chewing, smoking. We are always indulging in sensual pleasures, watching telly, watching movies. I was talking to a person who is in mid-30s, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease from our neighboring country. And I was talking to him, why don't you relax, do some meditation? He said, I relax, I see 2 movies a day nowadays, So that is what people think, that indulgence in senses relaxes you. But the relaxation comes when you can live with your own self, with your own awareness. People are always looking for others to socialize, or to talk to, or to engage, and they can't never sit still with their own self. When you are so bored with your own self, how do you expect that others should love you or like you when you yourself don't like yourself? And I believe the most important thing in any disease is a lot of anxiety, and then shock and denial, which comes with the disease, which actually hampers the improvement in the disease condition. And that occurs because of one wrong notion that we all are body-mind. None of us is body-mind. Body-mind is with us, within us. We are outside the body, we are inside the body. We are pure awareness. We are Satchidanand. And this one wrong notion creates so much of anxiety, not just about a disease. Even in our day-to-day, we have greed. We want to acquire more money, name, fame, big house, big car, everything for this body, which is with us for maybe for maximum 100 years. We were without the body before, and we will be without this body after. And just for a limited time, when this body is given to us to know the bliss of the self, we use this body for selfish desires. So just a simple direct self-inquiry method and contemplation on it can make you detach from this body-mind complex, which you can see that you are. This is like an instrument, like I'm sitting here and there's a laptop in front of me. This laptop is just like this mind, and the room where I'm sitting is like body, but I'm not the laptop and the room. Same is with us. We all are pure, formless awareness, eternal. There's no death to the awareness. Death comes to the body. And the problem is we all think we are body-mind complex, and that's why we are always in stress, in resistance to others. If you see, as a unitary consciousness, we are all the same. Consciousness is never plural. And we are just like the bulbs on an electric wire, and they are all showing their own light. But we are all that current, the underlying current in those bulbs. It's unitary consciousness in all of us. And once you realize, then the selfish desires, anger, hate, strong likes, dislikes, jealousy, all this just vanishes. Just simple notional correction that we are just pure awareness and we are not this body mind. And when you drop off this fake ego in us, then the healing comes natural, because then you are contented, you are blissful, you are peace. And the natural healing occurs. And then you are not even bothered about the body and mind. Then the negative thoughts of the mind never affects the sun. When the self-effulgent self which we know, no negative thought can stand in front of it. And most of the diseases in this world are because of negative thoughts and desires and anger and pent-up emotions. And we keep getting one over the above. These concepts, this belief system of what we are and what we want to achieve. And as if you see, the definition of stress is that the resources what we have fall short of what our expectations about us are. So there is a discrepancy. And this discrepancy is a false belief. We are not here to achieve this level or that level or to do this or that. This is all our preconceived ideas or our culture or notion of what the people have told us that we have to do this much. No, we just have to know that you are awareness. That's all our mission is, everyone's. And all these jobs, what we are doing are just our destiny, where we have been brought out, what we have done, what we have studied, and we do a job. So everyone is equal in that sense. We all have to know what we truly are. And once you know, then all these anxiety about doing things and not achieving this just drops away. So I believe for inner healing, this information is very, very important. So you have to sit in contemplation, you have to meditate, you have to understand your internal structure first. Who are you? Nobody asks us who you are. Everyone introduces that you're a doctor, you live in Australia, you do this, you do that. Nobody says who you are. We are pure awareness, all of us. And we are all connected. When you live in a city and someone comes from your own city, let's say, because I was born and brought up in Delhi, someone comes and speaks Hindi and speaks to me that I'm in Delhi, I'll say, I live in West Delhi and you live in there. You find a connection and then you think we are related. But let's say we know that we are all awareness, how good the connection is. We are all the same, formless, exactly the same. Even the twins are different in so many aspects. But as awareness, we are all the same, exactly the same. And that is a very, very important thing. And all your greed, your selfish desires to serve your own ego just drops. And I think there comes the role of spirituality, religion, yoga, or teachings like Bhagwan Shri Ramana Maharishi, which you can imbibe in yourself. It's not that hard. We are all very intellectual person, very intelligent, but we are using our brain in a wrong direction. If we use in this direction, I'll tell you, most of the diseases will disappear. If you ask Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, he suffered from cancer. And people used to feel sorry when they used to meet him, and they used to say, you have got a cancer, you have got a disease, so sorry to hear. He said, what do you talk about cancer as a disease? This body is a disease. You're carrying this body all the time, and you are talking about the disease. The disease can't have a disease. So if you come to that understanding, then everything just drops. Then you work not for any selfish desires.
Yeah.
You work in all your purity, and the healing comes because the doctor has no intention to earn money out of you. And the patient's awareness also gets elevated when he sees the doctor is, in his truest sense, is trying to heal him. He's not after his pocket.
Very true, very true.
And the true healing comes that way.
Yeah, Doctor.
I think you to say something.
No, I was just picking up those vital aspects which you are mentioning, which is going actually viral. Okay, so I am getting so many inputs over here. Like Corona to Karuna has become a viral now, and rebooting and revival of Mother Nature has become viral. Cleaning garbage from mind has become a viral. So I totally agree with you that this has to be a holistic approach, and this whole process is to create that. And now we will take up lots of these questions which have come up immediately after this 5 minute synchronized global prayer, which is going on every day between 6 to 6:05. And it's our blessing to have Guruji conducting it today because this is going across the world. And request Guruji, we are sharp at 6. We are starting the synchronized global prayer. And just to mention to the audience, this will have 3 parts. The part 1 we will have like praying for a good life. So through Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. Then part 2 we have 27 rounds of repetition of the chanting of Omkara. And part 3 we have a resolution, a resolve to be repeated in the mind or louder, praying for the well-being of yourself. And in this circumstance of COVID, we are all praying to remain healthy out of corona. It's sharp 6. Guruji, please take over and conduct the synchronized global prayer.
Thank you, Manjunath. We start with the Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. The mantra we can bring new vitality. Just relax yourself, calm down the mind. Om Trajambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamrutat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we have about 5 seconds of inhalation followed by 10 seconds of Omkara. And when we repeat the Om, the whole body should resonate, and the resonant wave should move from toes to the head. So let us start. Inhale. The last round. The wonderful resonant waves charging the whole body, purifying the mind. We will now expand our mind by remembering that all pervasive, beautiful blue sky or an ocean. Tune our mind to that infinity. And in that expanded state of awareness, let us have the resolve. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. Let us do it in the mind effectively. With all our collective powers of silence and shanti, we strengthen our immune systems. And the last round. With all our collective powers of silence and shanti, we strengthen our immune systems. And with that strengthened immune system, we build a positive global consciousness field to meet the challenge of the corona spreading everywhere. Let us wish the best health, happiness to everyone by Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all very much for your cooperation. And every evening time, 6 o'clock, Indian Standard Time, and morning 8 o'clock, we have been conducting this TP for the last 20 days, bringing a big change in our global consciousness being. Thank you all.
I mean, it is definitely to get those lessons from you and to create that collective consciousness which the whole world is looking for. There is a collective consciousness for sure, but a positive resonance is going to change the influence much different, as lots of studies are already done by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in this domain. Guruji, we have lots of questions. I will start with one question, which both of yourself and Acharya David Frawley can answer. There's a question on karma theory. So, because it is said that at times suffering is blessing. Okay, so is COVID suffering or suffering at any stage a blessing? And can you please, in brief, narrate the karmic theory which guides this whole questioning?
In the physical world, we have the third law of Newton: action and reaction are equal and opposite. So this taken to the subtle level, when we do good things, then we have a good response from within, and the opposite. So throughout our life, depending on what actions we do, we have corresponding reactions that are set up, and they go as the memory stores in our Manomaya Kosha. And this, when we leave this body, are continued in our Manomaya Kosha and others. And when we come back next birth, these things are brought back to our personality. And there are the three things: the agamic, the sanchita karma, and the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is the most difficult and it's the deepest. And we all have to bring out this prarabdha karma in which there is a lot of suffering. But when we have the suffering, we have two options. One, to worry about it more and more, more and more. What a prarabdha karma I have, what I am suffering, I have to do this. Or we have an option, we have got a freedom to think that's a great opportunity for me to change myself, to grow in the right direction. Converting difficulties into opportunities, converting suffering into opportunities is the way of the wise. That is what yoga offers. Therefore, when we have this corona suffering and others, the anxiety suffering, it gives us an opportunity to change ourselves, change the way of life that we are living, in terms of food, in terms of sleep, in terms of stresses, in terms of all behavioral things that we have. And that if we bring, then we'll be removing the repercussions, and not only that, we overcome the aspects of suffering, but also we'll be able to develop ourselves in the right direction. And that's what we have to do today in this context. Over to Acharya.
Yes, we are karmically responsible individually and collectively for who we are and what is the state of our world. When we abrogate that karmic responsibility and act thoughtlessly, we create all kinds of problems individually and collectively. So all of these issues, even this particular coronavirus, is showing our need to be karmically responsible in all that we do, and for everyone, and for the entire planet. We must act in accordance with the Dharma, the laws of life, the laws of nature. When we do that, we go beyond the limitations of karma. Now, in Upanishadic thought, disease is said to be a form of tapas. Tapas is a way of purifying the body and the mind. So disease and suffering gives us the opportunity to go beyond and purify, go beyond the outer limitations and our outer karma is. As Guruji has said, karma is what we take with us, but karma is also what we can work with and transform. And suffering is also inherent in life. There was a very interesting question asked to Ramana Maharshi, who is one of our great gurus also, as to why does not God eliminate all suffering and give everybody the realization of God, realization. And Ramana said, because suffering is the way to the realization of God. We must learn to use suffering as a tool for inner growth. Disease also shows us the limitations of the body, the limitations of the physical life. And if we can die within to the outer, we can enter the world of immortality. And if we look at this entire universe as nothing but waves on the ocean of eternity. So we must be responsible for our karma, but we must learn how to transcend our karma through greater awareness to that Satchidananda, to that deeper bliss, happiness, which is the true nature of all of us. Hari Om.
When Dr. Raghav, so the same question, if it is put in the modern context, so there's a lot of discussions going on with respect to genetics and epigenetics. And we relate a lot of mind-body medicine to epigenetics and many more newer dimensions. So in your view, can you please give an existential explanation for the evidence-based approach to a karmic theory like this?
Yeah, look, if you say what the karmic theory is, you can correlate with the genes or genetic print which we are born with. That is the code of our karmics. And, we have different types of genes. Some genes can give rise to cancer or some other disease, and we are susceptible to some disease because of the defective genes in us. Now, those genes will activate in us when they get the proper environment. And that environment now we understand as epigenetics. And the epigenetics is like the switch on and off button on the genes. So, and this epigenome, which is like, if it is on, then those gene manifestations into a form of a disease or suffering will come, otherwise not. And it's very interesting that these switch on-off buttons, which we call as epigenomes, depends on our lifestyle. So if our lifestyle is bad, they will be triggered on. And if your lifestyle is good, they will switch off. So you can understand, and look, there's a lot of research going on. It's a very new field. It's only in the last 15 years that epigenetics has come in a big way. And they have also found a very interesting thing, that at the end of the chromosomes, there is a cap known as telomeres. And a lot of research is being done. One of the pioneers is a Nobel laureate. She's from Australia, now living in California. That's what happens with all the famous people. They all move to US. So she did studies on telomeres and found that the lifestyle changes and like even just a couple of hours of meditation for a week can increase the length of the cap, the telomeres. Just for the people who don't understand what telomeres are, the bigger the size of the telomeres, the cap at the end of the chromosomes, it increases your longevity, it improves your health, it improves your well-being. Shorter, it's like you can correlate with aging. So shorter the telomeres, more there are chances that you are closer to death or degeneration or aging. And these studies have found that meditation, correct lifestyles can increase the telomere length. And same comes for these epigenetics, a change in lifestyle, the time you get to bed, time you get up, what you eat, how you think, meditation, exercise, they all are responsible to switch on or off your genes. So in a way, you can sort of correlate that you are born with some prarabdha karma in form of genes. Now, what you do in your life will trigger on and off. One of my uncles used to say that, maybe in your karmic account, you have to have an accident. So an accident can be just a small thorn piercing in your finger, or it could be accident, vehicle accident, or something like that. So you are still getting an accident, but the accident can be small or can be big, depends how you lead your life. And you can always increase your balance of good karmic accounts, doing good stuff.
So according to you, there is a way to understand and correlate even in the present day modern medical language. So whether you want to understand the puristic karma or you want to understand its imprints in the physical body, we can actually evaluate and make an understanding out of it, is what you said. And also lots of studies, whatever have been done on meditation, on other healing systems, including traditional Chinese medicine, it has been made very clear that the healing from within can be made much more effective when you start working at a subtle level. So that is very true to all the fields, whatever we are talking about. To Acharya David Frawley-ji, there is one more question, which is about Ayurveda. Today, Ayurveda has been brought down to similar to allopathy, only by prescribing medicines. So can you please explain, is medicines all that important in the treatment of any ailment, or it is little more than that? So in Ayurveda, Acharya-ji.
Yes, traditional Ayurveda has always emphasized lifestyle, behavioral changes, dinacharya, ritucharya, all this dharmic living. And traditional Ayurveda is not just a healing for the body, it's also a healing for the mind. Mental diseases also come in under Ayurveda. And for that, Ayurveda uses a lot of the yoga therapy, pranayama, mantra, meditation, as well as special herbs and special practices for the mind and mental healing, reducing the doshas, reducing rajas and tamas and all of that. And Ayurveda also recognizes the ultimate need for spiritual healing and spiritual well-being and going beyond spiritual suffering, which is the suffering born of ignorance, which is the suffering born of lack of connection to our true self. So an integral, holistic application of Ayurveda includes yoga, it includes Vedanta, meditation traditions, it includes behavioral medicine, and even something like Jyotish. The Jyotish, the Vedic astrology, shows your karmic DNA, shows the karmas and samskaras that you have to work with. So in other words, we have to use all these systems together, and then we get a complete form of treatment. And the medicines are there, but the medicines only work with diet, lifestyle, exercise, all this daily seasonal changes, harmony with constitution. And doshas have higher energies. There's a deeper prana behind Vata dosha that's a powerful healing force, our inner prana. There's a higher Agni or Tejas behind Pitta, connects us to ultimately to Agni of prana, Agni of mind, Agni of consciousness. And Ojas connects us to, from essence of Kapha all the way to Amrit, Ananda. So it is all connected there. And we need to bring back this entire integral Vedic, Dharmic healing system that brings all these systems together with the best in modern medicine, the best in yoga, Ayurveda. We need evidence, but the ultimate evidence is how we live, how happy we are, the state of our world, our collective, as we say, karmic responsibility, and our embracing of the overall universal consciousness. Let us heal the earth. Let us also heal ourselves, heal humanity, and recognize that we live in a beneficent universe for which healing is there for everyone if we are open to nature and open to our inner being. Hari Om.
I think there were many people asking the similar question. I can see a lot of thumbs up coming, suggesting that they were expecting this kind of a comprehensive approach to be the trump card of Ayurveda, not just using medicines, is what people were really troubled with. And Guruji, there is another question for you. somebody wants to know that is there one yoga technique through which I can start that process of healing from within? So which is that one yoga technique?
Many people have asked me that give me one technique, one method of yoga by which you get the maximum benefit. And I say it is called Santosha, one of the niyamas. Be happy all the time, irrespective of what you encounter. But then it says Santosha Anuttama Sukhalabha. Unparalleled bliss is going to come when you have Santosha. But it is easily said than done. We have to maintain the composure, the balance, and the inner happiness. This can all happen when we tune ourselves to this inner, infinite, pure consciousness. Yogastaha kuru karmadi. If you tune ourselves to Anandamaya Kosha, then it becomes possible. So, whether you do asanas or pranayama or mudras or bandhas or kriyas or meditation, in all these things, this aspect of tuning ourselves to that infinite is the most important. As Patanjali emphasized, Ananta Samapatti, tuning to the Anantata is the key essence. So when we start doing asanas, we should not just live at the physical level. Sthirata is necessary. Then we should go into Chira, staying longer and longer in the asana, and then tuning our mind to that infinite. By the two things that he said, Prayatna Shaitanya and Ananta Samapatti. And this can be done anywhere, and that is the whole dimension. And that's what I say always, that Santosha is the key essence. Some people are built with this dimension. Always they are keeping smiling and then happy and bringing the fragrance of love and bliss and service to everybody. But some people are opposite built. And that's where the karma comes into picture, and rightly pointed out by Sanjay. It is all manifested in epigenetics and the form of gene expressions and the gene structure. People thought for a long time that gene cannot be changed. But over last 20 years before, it was said, yes, genes cannot be changed, gene structure cannot be changed, but gene expressions can be changed. But later on, over the last 2 years, it has been said, yes, even the gene structure can be changed. We all have the power of freedom to change these things. And therefore, yoga is the process of using that freedom to be happy all the time. And Santosha is the key essence. That is one thing that I would always say is the best, one single thing by which yoga can be practiced. And this one we see in our Rakesh Kumar and many other masters, always smiling with full of energy, vitality, and organization power and service attitude. I congratulate all such great people who have been in tune with that Santosha or the Anandamaya Kosha. Thank you all.
Guruji, your easy, simple way, which reminds us of the Upanishadic Guru Shishya conversation, where a student asked the teacher that knowing that which I will know everything, give me that vidya. So you have given us a technique, knowing that we will know everything and we will enjoy everything. But probably there are questions pouring in to say that it's wonderful, Guruji. Today I got the realization, but please teach me how to remain in the state of contentment. So I won't go into the details of them. We are coming to the last part of our webinar. I know there are so many questions. There are 70 questions posed. I have just picked randomly. And I would like to request each of the panelists to give your take-home message in just around 30 seconds to 1 minute time. So start from Sanjay Raghav.
Look, my message as a doctor, as a healer is that if you change your lifestyle and have some patience and use an integrative approach, I'm not saying that you should just do meditation and the disease will leave your system. You take your medicines, you follow the Western medicine, but you also follow a good lifestyle, do meditation, do yoga, follow a plant-based diet, which is the most beneficial in health and even in disease. And then this integrative approach will bring you santosha also and good health.
Thank you. But certainly, Dr. Sanjay, your messages will be remembered, particularly Corona to Karuna, Okay, the revival of the mind-body medicine is the future. Guruji, I will take you to the as the last panelist. Acharya-ji, please, can you give us a take-home message for all the viewers?
Yes, we must recognize that with this current disease pandemic we have, shows the greater need and relevance of all the Ayush systems, of yoga and Ayurveda particularly. They are more important for the future. They must be brought more into the integration of medicine for strengthening immunity, all this behavioral epigenetics, as is said, for bringing about the deeper unfoldment of healing within. So we must embrace these systems, study them more, go to all these schools, Vyasa, all the Ayurvedic schools, spread the message of yoga, Ayurveda, all the Ayush systems. It's a tremendous opportunity to bring out this wisdom. We certainly honor the need for the acute medicine that's necessary to deal with the hospital conditions today, but for the long-term healing of humanity and the planet, the medicine of the coming century is this Ayush integration of yoga, Ayurveda, all the natural systems. Please study, take it up, share it in your daily life, use it for your own self-healing, but we need to project this great healing systems of Ayush and all the Dharmic traditions and their deeper spirituality, centered in yoga, I would say, for the benefit of humanity. And then we can deal with all these pandemics and we can go beyond them, and we can also use our information and technology to develop a higher awareness rather than to just disturb our nervous system as tends to be happening today. So may that Ananda and Sukha and Santosha be with all. Hari Om.
Thank you, Acharya-ji. Guruji, you have to give that key essence as well as the take-home message to all our participants today, giving that important aspect which can help them to understand the healing from within.
I believe in the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, who said, combine the best of the East with the best of the West. Modern scientific research to be combined with the wonderful Indian wisdom base that we have. While we look at the entire physical world in dealing with science and its understanding, we go beyond the physical to understand what is beyond, like prana, the mind, the emotions, intellect, and beyond everything, the consciousness. And we have to take into consideration the totality, and that is the one that can heal us. That's the power that we have inside, and our original state from where all of us are born. Our original state from where the whole creation has been created is the Brahman, or the Self, or Parama Atman. And that is a state of infinite power, infinite bliss, infinite freedom, infinite knowledge. And that's our original state. So Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of life is to manifest that divinity and to be rid of the diseases, whether it's NCDs or the infectious and coronal diseases, is one aspect. But to be happier day by day is the most important thing. And tune to that Santosha, having higher and higher Santosha, by, as rightly said by David, that we have to grow to the higher levels of consciousness. To bring the higher levels of bliss is the most essential thing. So for that, we have to calm down the mind, silence the mind, tranquil the mind, and go deeper and deeper and understand the deeper realms of the higher levels of consciousness and the power that's available to us. And this is the thing that we have to take. Therefore, we have to bring that into practical things. Habits die hard. To change habits are very difficult. For that, we have to do the practices. So we developed in the present context of COVID that very simple practice of 10 to 15 minutes to be repeatedly doing 4 times, 6 times, 8 times. If they do that, then the habits change and we enter into the new lifestyle of harmony, peace, love, happiness, and health, and better health towards perfect health. And that is the one that we have to practice and bring about the dimension. And in the Vyasa University, we have started now various programs through this online and ODL mode, in which we are bringing the essence of Upanishad. Every day morning, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I have been talking about the Upanishads, as part of the Vedic wisdom base. And later on, we are going to talk about various dimensions of our yoga things. This and many top experts in our university are bringing out their wisdom base in the crucial period of present crisis. And rightly, Rakesh has organized this webinar. Very, very useful. Once again, thank you very much for this thing and bringing a big community who are able to get this new dimension, which is very necessary. No doubt, the modern medical system is very important, very necessary, very useful. At the same time, it cannot give the total solution. We have to add on the dimension of the Ayush wisdom base, that is a paradigm shift to move from the matter-based paradigm to consciousness-based paradigm is the key essence. And once again, with love and happiness to everyone who have attended this webinar, I offer my prayers to see that everybody keep up their health, their strong immune system, and see that they will never succumb to the corona. And if they get succumb to that, please use the yoga techniques to see that they ward off and come back to normalcy the soonest, as many people have started doing. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Go there and see them.
The discussion can go on because it's such an interesting area to understand more and more. We had 3 such great personalities today. We have brought 3 time zones of the world today together, and we couldn't have asked for anything better than Acharya-ji talking about Ayurveda and Vedanta, Guruji talking about yoga, and Sanjay Raghav bringing the mind-body medicine and the modern perspective of medicine to the platform today. We are already overshooting the day's session. I request Rakesh ji to just give his concluding remarks to close today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Manjunath ji. You have moderated the session very well. In fact, it is a really amazing session. So many applauds are coming in the messages also. We could never imagine that the session, a very simple subject of the healing within, that could cover so many dimensions of the life and so many aspects of the subject. In fact, the biggest takeaway from the session is the Santosha. And I think if all of us just believe on that, it is going to be the great healing within. I thank, first of all, our Parpujaniya Guruji for being with us, inspiring us, and always being with us. I also thank Acharya ji today. In fact, he has given us a lot of different dimension of Ayurveda, and also this our Dr. Sanjay Raghav ji, who has joined us from all the way from Australia. Thank you very much, all of you. And also I thank Team iRog Expo, Parveen Prabhakar ji, our Tushar ji, Niranjan ji, Sudeep Sarkar ji, and the entire advisory committee of the iRog Expo, along with the team of S. Vyasa, who has also helped us in today's session. And the prayer that we had today, I think that was the another main subject of the today program, and all of us are greatly benefited with that. Thank you very much again. Thank you.
We will close the session praying for the well-being of the whole universe. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. You can join from your places. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschet dukhabad bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanking all the participants, thanking all the panelists, thanking the organizers. You all gave us an opportunity. Let us meet again on next Saturday with yet another important topic for discussion. Thank you again. Have a great morning, evening, and great day wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.